This is my new single. It's called Whole Head.
My head is completely gone. I would like to have a more whole head. A more whole head.
I would like to have a more whole head. How about you? People.
I would like to have a more whole head.
And that's true. I would like to have a more whole head. Now this single will be available at a certain point. This is a rough cut of Whole Head, by the way. If you're a big fan of Brother Seamus and you're waiting for the album to drop, let me be the first to assure you, where'd you go? Control T, baby, Control T, bring them back. There they are. Here's my loyal, my scant audience. But I will let you know as soon as that single drops. It's called Whole Head. We've got about 5 other tracks ready to go. Mostly electronic dance music. Each track's a little different. It's a little different. But it's all electronic dance music, and we're recording under the name Ogo Pogo. I'm going to put that in the comment section. Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. This is your brother Seamus. We're live on TikTok and live on YouTube. In the background, you're hearing my, not my first electronic dance music track, but this is certainly going to be on my first album. I've never released an EDM album. In fact, I've never released any album. Well, garage band stuff, maybe, basement band. alcohol and cannabis-fueled recordings late at night under suspicious circumstances. But yeah, I'd call this my first official album, and it's going to be under the name Ogo Pogo. I was about to write that into the comments. I will try to answer your questions if you have any. I want to encourage people to watch this the same way they would watch public access television. Like, you don't have to interact with this. You can just turn it, leave it on in the background. I think I'm gonna go 90 minutes, or I might do 245s, because then I can just upload them straight away if I stay under an hour. Seems to be the way to go, people. So this track is making fun of a video editing technique where you overlay images. And I was overlaying an image on my own head, and it made part of my head disappear. And so I decided I needed a whole head. That's trivia, though. That'll be when you buy the Brother Seamus trivia game box set. That'll be a question. So I just gave you a question. If you want to follow us on Facebook, for Facebookers, this is what the page looks like on Facebook. Let me get that over into the other display. Whole head. Let's just drag this over here. That's the easiest way, probably. So if you want to follow us on Facebook, that's what we look like on Facebook. So Humans for Democracy is our parent page. They're kind of the host on Facebook. And that's also where I sell merch. So if you're interested in merch, well, I should say under that same brand is where I sell merch, which I'm going to show you if the computer will cooperate with me. Oh, it's mad at me for opening 2 full screens, I'll betcha. Oh, I know, I'm doing the wrong screen. I'm clicking on the wrong, I tricked myself. So on the merch site, we sell t-shirts that say "Immigrants Make Great Americans," and I hope you'll pop on over. And that's also under the name Humans for Democracy. You'll see there we have a proud snowflake mug ready to ship, people, ready to ship. I'm a proud snowflake, but I want to say this to my Trumper brother and sisters. You're still my neighbors. And I hope you'll say the same thing amongst your clan. I'm definitely a proud snowflake, but I would argue, aren't most of us proud snowflakes? I feel like we are. I don't know. We're going to have to discuss that. Whatever the case, I will respect your views if you respect mine too. Because that's how you got to do it. You know, assuming that you want to actually work things out. So if you buy what happens, you may ask? What happens if you buy a Proud Snowflake coffee mug from the Humans for Democracy store on bonfire.com? People, what will happen? Well, here's what will happen. Is I will run an ad on social media, because I despise social media. I mean, I still like using it, but I despise it. I do think it's kind of just destroying us. And let's see if I can play the audio on here and not get in trouble. That's going to be the trick. Let's see if I can. So I'm going live on YouTube and TikTok. This music is authorized to play on TikTok. The music I'm about to lay on to you. But it's not authorized on YouTube, or vice versa. I can't remember, so let's see what happens. Let me check my YouTube. I need to pop this one out, don't I, so I can move it around. New tab to right. Move to end, move to new window. That's what I'm looking for, bro. Give me that new window, people. There's nobody chatting over here on YouTube, so that's okay. I'm just going to type in music. Bye. So I'm recording the album under the name Ogo Pogo. So keep that in your head. That's a sea monster that lives in upstate New York. I believe it's upstate New York. And that's the name of our band. That's me and my cousin Sam, and he does all the hard work, and I just come up with weird loop ideas like, I wish I had a whole head. All right, what am I doing over here? I'm trying to get you a full screen, so if you don't move around enough on TikTok, you get in trouble. I don't know if you guys know that. What have I done over here, people? Can I have my screen back? I dang old hijacked my own screen from my own self, as my dad would say. Can I escape? There is no escape. I think I moved the whole screen over and I didn't mean to. Well, let's turn the music back on while I'm trying to figure out what the F that I did. Okay. Can I shrink this one down? Sure. What about shrinking this one down? Sure, that's good. Oh, here we are. There we are. Sorry about that, people. There's a lot of gremlins up in the studio. Or it's just a guy that barely knows how to use his software. You get to decide. Okay, let's see here. I think I had a big discovery while I was prepping for the show today. I had a big discovery. I think I finally know what I am. You know, sometimes you think you know yourself, and you're like, do I really know what I am? Or do I just think I know what I am? So I decided today, just today, for you lovely TikTok family and YouTube family, we're not really family, but you know, that's how people trick you online, right? I wanted you to know that I'm pretty sure, the Mr. Rogers for adults and people who love public access TV and staying up too late because they're thinking too much about whatever. School shootings, nuclear war, the loss of democracy in a highly capitalized society that's being taken over by billionaires. We'll call it a hostile takeover. But here's the thing, not all billionaires are on board with that. So we gotta get our billionaires pitted against their billionaires. If we're going to get some shit done, okay, and I'm telling you right now, people, I did not come to this party to not get some shit done. But don't forget to enjoy the party. If you're bummed out about the loss of a highly qualified black female, if you're upset about that, I feel your pain. I do. I felt the same pain myself. However, because I'm old, And because I wear my collar flipped outside of my my suit jacket, which I never wear suit jackets. Anybody that knows me knows I don't wear suit jackets unless somebody's died. But this is, I'm wearing it to the wake. This is a kind of a wake for democracy because apparently we're gonna let it die. We're gonna let billionaires decide how much we get paid per hour. Fuck those guys. Fuck them. I try not to drop too many F-bombs. I want this to be mostly a kid-safe show where you can keep it on in the background, but I'll tell you what, once in a while, Brother Seamus lets loose. Brother Seamus lets loose with a pretty dang old loud F-bomb. And I apologize. I'll do my best. I can't promise anything, but fuck those billionaires because why do they get to buy politicians? The tech billionaires basically bought protection. They said, hey, we're going to need some protection. We don't want any responsibility, but we need protection from you, federal government. So we're going to go ahead and spend our billions to make sure we get senators that will approve Section 230, which means, let me just emphasize this because this will be on the exam. I'm not an attorney, so I'm going to say it like a non-attorney. You can't sue the motherfucking social media companies. You can't sue them in the United States. If they kill your family by trafficking in false information, you can't sue them. You can't. It's the only product right now that can destroy society, but you can't sue them. Isn't that something? That's what you call Section 230, people. And it essentially says, oh, well, we're not, and I think this was, I think this came from Team Facebook mostly, because they were the ones doing this work early on. It goes something like this. We can't be held responsible because crazy people are going to post things on Facebook, and then if somebody does something crazy because of that, we didn't say it was true, we didn't endorse it, it was just people talking to each other, except the lie is what they left out, because that's partially true. They can't control everything anybody says, but they can have much stricter guidelines that are enforced with uniformity, as decided by the public, by the way. Why would you let loose on society something that might damage you, which is clearly already damaging us? I'm going to harp on that over and over, just like I'm going to harp on the idea that abortion saves women from death by miscarriage. I'm just going to keep harping on it because it's a question of justice, right? Anyway, so little Marky Mark got over to Congress one day, and Marky Mark was like, hey, you guys, I need some protection. And they said, here's a little paragraph that basically says that whatever people do on social media, there's no way in hell that the social media companies could be held accountable. Why they haven't done anything? They've a perfectly lovely product for the kids. They can share. They can share all kinds of hate speech about each other and help get ethnic minorities assaulted, as in Myanmar. Look it up. I'm not doing your homework for you. Your brother Seamus, he don't do your homework for you. That's rule number one. Do your own damn homework. But my point was, Facebook helped cause a massacre in Myanmar a while back. They knew the potentially destructive nature of their product, just like tobacco, just like big oil. But right now, Section 230 keeps you and me from being able to say, hey, YouTube, you radicalized my son, and he went and joined ISIS. A white boy. But he was going through some shit. And the algorithm kept serving up to young Mr. Hernandez, I believe his last name is, this is a real lawsuit. Look it up. I'm not doing your damn homework, people. You're lazy. Got to get you lazy gold bricking asses to do some homework and apply some logic. But anyway, YouTube radicalized a young man who was probably going through a real difficult time. It wasn't entirely YouTube's fault. This guy was probably having some kind of identity crisis. Wouldn't shock me at all if he was in the early stages of schizophrenia. And YouTube's algorithm pounded him with ISIS videos. And if you're going through some shiz, you might not be able to withstand that. And it might happen to your cousin, it might happen to your aunt, it might happen to you. It's bad news. It's a very dangerous product, this social media upon which I'm talking to you right now. It's super dangerous. You should get the hell out of here. Hey, everybody, get the hell out of social media. It's real dangerous. Or if you're going to stay, because I know, who's leaving? The more I tell you to leave, the more people will stay. But if you're going to stay, you got to inoculate yourself. And one of the great ways, for me, one of the best ways, and I think it's for a lot of people because it's primal, one of the best ways to inoculate yourself is by playing loud music and dancing. I mean, you don't have to play it loud. Play it to taste. This is the Brother Seamus Show. I need another cup of coffee, so you guys hang out with the studio audience, and I'll be right back with you. That's a little too loud, I think, so I'm going to give it... I mean, you can turn this up loud at home if you want. Give us a call. You can reach out on TikTok through the chat. You can also reach out on YouTube through the chat function. It looks like there's my signal. I'm not seeing any comments just yet. I think people are just browsing around. If you really, honestly, because I lose track, I'm allowed to say this because I'm over 50. I lose track of all the comments. Just call the phone number, people. Let's have a convo. 1-to-1, just one at a time. I don't like 8 people talking at once. What kind of shit is that, bro? Nobody wants that. It's too much. Probably some people really enjoy it, so I shouldn't knock it. It ain't for me, though. It ain't for your brother Seamus. No, sir or madam. Or non-binary, as the case may be. I'm going to switch to some... I'm going to play this one more time. This is Whole Head. This is Whole Head by Ogopogo. Hey, if you're watching on TikTok, I'm trying to put a poll up, and let me know if you see it. It doesn't seem to be working. It's a text poll, it says. And I say, okay. But then I don't see it.
My head is almost completely gone. I would like to have a more whole head. A more whole head. Whole head.
In the music video for this, you'll see the footage of me losing my head, quote unquote, and that idea was the track, or the inspiration for this track. I was fooling around, trying to edit. Maybe I can show you. Let's see, I think I can show you. I would like to have a more whole head. Let's go to this camera. That'll be a good one. So I was trying to edit using what, if you're a video editor, you'll know this filter, of course. The Luma key, which is really tough on your computer's resources, by the way, if you don't have a gigantic graphics card. So, but it looks kind of like this. And then you can, you can change your levels appropriately. Well, that looks pretty good. And as you fade in and out, you'll lose pieces of things. Sometimes you'll lose your whole head. And, oh, that looks nice. That does look nice. I'm going to keep that for a minute. Okay, let's close that guy out. So I don't think I'm losing my head in this episode, or in this setting. Now my head is just all black. All the blacks have gone completely black, people. We've gone fully into the blackest black that's ever blacked. Back over here on camera 2, though. Let me see if I can show you the Luma filter. Let's see if I can make my head go away. There's my giant freckles. You see those? What the fuck's that all about? Hey, any dermatologists out there? I had one of these removed, and the Polish, heavily accented Polish surgeon, who was hilarious and very direct, and I loved it. He looked at him and he was like, "Nothing. That's nothing." And I was like, "I know, but don't you want to test it?" And he was like, "Yeah, we'll cut it off." And so they cut one off right over here, man. He just did it, and like, he said it, and then a nurse appeared with a thing that looked like an electric toothbrush with a little ice cream scooper on the end, and he just scooped out my flesh. And this is not a joke. It was funny. Oh, I guess she gave me a shot first. But I mean, the whole visit was like 15 minutes, and they scooped out a freckle, one of these guys. There it is. And it wasn't anything, and he was right. So I'm gonna listen to my Polish doctor. And I wish I could imitate his voice better. But I'm not that good at imitations, people. So this is the Brother Seamus Show. If you really want to talk to me, I'll watch the messages. I will. And I'll ask questions of my studio audience here. If you're just listening to this on Q109 out of Walla Walla, Washington, so I'm showing a shot of part of the seating area in my studio, which right now is also serving as a hangout place for my crew. So I call them my studio audience, but they're actually my crew over there. So just so you understand. These are my new curtains. I'm very happy. I made them myself. I strung up some white bed sheets on 3/4-inch electrical conduit, which I attached to my ceiling with cup hooks, extra large cup hooks, I guess you'd call it. And then you can get these little, it's pretty cool, these little curtain ring doodads. I probably should sell them. They're basically, it's like a shower curtain ring, but it's got a nice pincher clip, so you can attach the white bed sheets, and then voila. And all you need is some nice, of course you got to get some lasers and some colored LEDs and whatever. But studio lighting is more fun these days because you can do it without spending $1 million. I forgot what I was talking about. But I was going to get some coffee a long time ago. I was going to go get some coffee, but I want to give you a little something to feast your eyeballs upon. So I tried to put up a poll on TikTok. If you're watching on TikTok, please take a look and see if you see a poll. Because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, man. I'm just trying to put stuff up on the interwebs. I am trying to run 2 streams at once. There is some software for those of you that are into this stuff. There's some software that allows you to run multiple. It's like a subscription thing, but you send them your stream from OBS and they stream it out to multiple agencies and bureaus and outfits, otherwise known as social media streaming companies. But I didn't want to pay. I didn't want to pay the fee, right? I didn't want to pay the fee. That could be a nice beat. I didn't want to pay the fee. I didn't want to pay the fee. I didn't want to pay. I didn't want to pay. I didn't want to pay the fee. Didn't want to pay the fee. I didn't want to pay the fee. Welcome. Didn't want to pay. I didn't want to pay. I didn't want to pay the fee. Didn't want to pay the fee. Didn't want to pay the fee. Welcome. Didn't want to pay. Brother Seamus Show. Yeah, it's a little too jumbled, I'm afraid. So I keep a constant loop running of things I say in the studio. And I tried to lay that pay the fee track down on top of it, but it's too. I didn't want to pay the fee. Didn't want to pay the fee. Didn't want to pay the fee. Welcome. Didn't want to pay the Brother Seamus Show. I didn't want to pay the fee. Didn't want to pay the fee. Yeah, that's a separate loop, and I've contaminated the 1, 2, 3. This is my show loop. Welcome to the show. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to the Brother Seamus Show. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to the Brother Seamus Show. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to the Brother Seamus Show. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give us a call, 509-676. 6032. If you're on, welcome to the Brother Seamus. Oh, I guess my poll ran. How long can I run my poll? Can I just leave it on for 20 minutes? 30 minutes, customize, manual. Let's go full manual on the Brother Seamus Show. If you're watching on TikTok, so this, they call it a poll, but it's basically a trivia question. And my question for today is, which democratic nation is the best at voting? And you've got 4 choices. I'm not going to give you any hints unless somebody requests a hint, because you can do this. You can do it. You can do it. All right. If you're on TikTok, please take the poll. If you're on YouTube, you're not seeing what people, you're seeing a different thing than what people are on TikTok are seeing, which I find kind of fascinating. So I'm going to do a side-by-side of the two. So if you're watching on TikTok, what you're seeing right now is, where's the other display? There it is. If you're watching on TikTok, you're seeing the image here on the right, which is basically what you're seeing on YouTube turned on its side. So this is 9:16 in the TikTok world. You don't have to do it that way. They'll let you do just a straight 9:16 like you see in the middle. And on YouTube, it's standard to be 16:9. That's for the video nerds. I find it fascinating that we just turned one standard image on its side. And now, so I can be in the middle here, but I have to be full screen. Otherwise, I think it's just way less engaging. Although, do we always need to see somebody right all up in their face? Do we always need that? Is that really necessary? I mean, I like you and I hope you like me, but should I always be sticking my face in the camera? Right in the camera? Who knows, people? I don't know much. Let's see if I can turn that on without going down. So yeah, I am the show editor. And I'm the stagehand, and I do all the props, and I do all the thinking and the performing. Welcome, Mischief 88. This is the Brother Seamus Show. I don't see any joiners on YouTube. I think this is kind of a slow point. I think a lot of people are working. So I will post this on YouTube, Brother Seamus Show, and I will post this on TikTok on the Brother Seamus Show. I'll break it into 2 streams, but it'll all be one thing. I haven't even really talked about abortion yet. But we will. We have to. I don't like doing it. I wish I didn't have to do it. I kind of wish I didn't have to do this show, but I will admit I'm having fun doing this show. So the TikTok stream, alleged live stream, is about only a half or 2 seconds behind what I'm seeing in my studio. The YouTube, however, is a good solid 8-10 seconds behind, it looks like. Let's check the health of my stream over here on the live stream. It says the stream current bit rate is higher than recommended. We recommend that you use a stream bit rate. Oh, okay. That's fine. It doesn't like my bit rate. I don't think it's going to let me change it, though. So it says my stream says my stream is excellent, though. See, I like hearing that. That's good. Let's see if I do a transition. Oh, that's nice. I like that. That way we get the full transition. I really would like to have a more whole head. Head. see how this sounds. It's a little too loud, but that's okay. We're keeping it kind of hot today. We're keeping it loud. I'm gonna lower my voice a little. That's right. This is the Brother Seamus Show. Hit me with your questions if you have any.
My head is completely gone. I would like to have a more whole head. A more whole head. Whole head.
Sorry about that, TikTokers. I left you on an edit screen. That wasn't very nice of me, was it? Alright, I'm going to change up the music a little bit. It's time for Brother Seamus to get the church started. Now, I am a licensed minister, and this counts as church. If you watch this for more than 10 minutes, it counts as church. If you just dip in and dip out, you don't get any credit. I'm sorry about that. But only God will know, or your version of God, if you have a version of God. I really don't. I'm an atheist preacher. I'm your brother Seamus. I've got a phone number, and you can call me if you really want to talk about stuff, and maybe I'll pick it up, maybe I won't. We'll see what happens. There's the phone number. I don't think that's a good spot for it, though. Let's move it. Oops, wrong one. Let's move it up and over. That's pretty good. I'm going to shrink it just a smidge. 509-676-6032. It's the Brother Seamus Show. We're live on YouTube and TikTok. I probably should check my phone and make sure. So I think I've got a poll up for you TikTokers. And the question is, which democratic nation is best at voting? But I don't see any sign that anybody's interacting with it, and it keeps popping up on my screen, which is annoying AF. All right. So some of you are going to complain or notice. I shouldn't say complain. But people sometimes are like, well, you say social media is toxic, but you're all up on social media. It's like, well, yeah, I am, because how else am I going to reach people? And I do think social media could be way less toxic. I actually don't want to get rid of it. I just think we need to keep it in perspective. And we have to right now recognize the damage that it's doing. Because of Section 230, you can seek no damages, even when your son, who may or may not be compromised psychologically, psychiatrically, even when your son gets radicalized by YouTube videos, let's say, hypothetically, the Hernandez case, let's say your son gets radicalized and then, I believe, commits an act of terroristic suicide. He blows himself up, I think is what happens in real life. And then you go to sue YouTube and you say, your algorithm picked on my son who was probably going through a mental health crisis. Or your algorithm picked on my wife who just lost her parents. Or your algorithm picked on me because I'm going through a divorce. Or your algorithm picked on your neighbor who's trying to quit drinking. So the algorithm gets people, and you can't do anything about it. YouTubers, TikTokers, you can watch as they destabilize society and harm the people that you care about. Or we can get rid of Section 230 because it never should have been there in the first place, and they know how to make it safer. They just don't want to, people. They just don't want to make it safer. You know why? Because when you're enraged, you're engaged. 509-676-6032. We don't have to talk about that stuff. That's just the stuff I preach about. But I'm going to change up the music here. It's kind of we've rocked it out for long enough. All right, I'm going to stop this stream real quick, and we're going to start right back up. Don't go away.